Hello to all your IPS clients. Well, I wanted to do a quick video. You know, 80% of people, particularly South Africans that invest overseas, actually lose money. And to be honest, it really annoys me. And the reason is they don't have the right facts and they don't have the right information. So today I want to unweave the truth behind finance in America. A lot of our clients are asking us, they're saying they're getting emails, they're looking on the internet, and apparently there's financing in America. Well, before I answer that question, you need to understand what has happened in America. Firstly, we had the subprime crisis. Why did we have the subprime crisis? It's because they had reckless lending. They had things like stated income loans, where you literally sat and went, right, I want to buy a house for $1 million. How much do I think I should earn? $1 million. So what happened then is that they then fixed the interest rates, and you'd be in a 2 or 3 year fix, and you would ask the mortgage broker, and you say, well, what would happen? How do I get out of it? And they'd say, oh, no worries, just get another mortgage. But that didn't happen. And that's how Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, because what happened is the fixed interest mortgages got to their 2 year period and they went straight over. And there was nothing more that we could actually do in terms of the problem. And that's when the banks actually went out of business. So we had the global financial crisis. Then the government stepped in. They lent billions, if not trillions of dollars to the banks to try and recapitalize them so that they could go out, they could lend to the man in the street, they could lend to small business, but they didn't. They didn't trust the system. They didn't trust the fact that finance was available. And they are not lending to the average American. We're on a course here with Dr. Dolf de Roos, the leading international property investor, the guy that wrote Real Estate Riches. And he today said he has an exemplary credit rating. He has multiple properties all over the world. And even he said it is extremely difficult to get finance. And so how do you think Mr. Average American is getting finance? And so with all due respect, if Mr. Average American and Dr. Dolf de Roos are battling to get finance, why do you think that the banks would be lending to you as a non-resident? Well, with all due respect, they're not. There's only 2 ways that you're getting finance. The first way is a legitimate way. It's called hard money. It's private lending. It's when a private individual actually lends you money, and you're looking at rates of, the lowest I've seen are anywhere from about 9.9% right through to about 18%. It's no different to mezzanine finance, where effectively a private individual is lending you money for a shorter period of time at 2 or 3 or sometimes even 5 times the rate of what the bank is lending it to you at. But if you're doing something like a fix and flip, it's not necessarily a bad option. There's even some projects where or investments where if you look at it, it might work. But the one that you've got to be careful of is what is happening, and I've particularly seen it quite a lot in South Africa. There's some opportunities being looked at in Atlanta where they buy properties for $35,000. They sell them to you at $70,000. They ask for a 50% deposit, and they give you 8.2% financing over the next 10 years. Now, unless you can join the dots, basically what they're doing for you is that you're buying the property at the value they're buying it at, and then you're paying them 8.2% over the next 10 years to buy your property. Fascinating. Unfortunately, that's why so many people lose money. You've got to understand the facts. So if you do get financing, please make sure that the hard money is not a huge balloon payment on the front of the money. You've got to know what the real rate is, what is the return of investment that the investor wants in terms of the hard money. And don't think for a minute that that money is coming from a bank. But one last thing that I wanted to point out. We're buying a building in New York at the moment, a commercial building. In fact, I'm off to New York in a couple of days. And interestingly enough, we're getting financing there. We're going to meet with the financiers in New York. We're getting 4.5% fixed for 30 years. And they reckon with non-recourse, non-resident financing, we can get a loan to value as high as 70%. Now that's legitimate financing. That's financing from a bank like the one behind me, Bank of America, a legitimate bank, one of the biggest, strongest banks in America. So if you're interested in something like that, contact us. But please, don't let the wool be pulled over your eyes as I try and help you unweave the truth behind this financing myth of what is available in America. And with everything in life, there's a pro and a con. The con is there's no financing in America right now. The pro is, because there's no financing, there's fantastic opportunities. But that's if you've got cash. Cheers for now.